Hello everyone, today we're going to discuss Chanel's Fall 2014 collection, and yes, fall collections are already starting to roll out. I think Chanel gets a little earlier every year, but I'm really excited about this fall collection because it's a really wearable collection and all the colors are really soft and muted except for some of the eyeshadows, but I'm going to talk about those later. First, we're going to start with the lip products, and I'm absolutely loving this pair of Glossimers, and if you love soft pinks, this collection is definitely made for you. If you like colors such as NARS Turkish Delight, you will absolutely love 189, and this one is a really milky pink, something that you can wear every day whether you're wearing makeup or not. It's very hydrating, has great shine, and the color is 189 Rose Rev, I believe, and I absolutely adore this. I do think that it is not quite as thick as other Glossimers, so if you like thinner lip gloss, this will definitely work for you. On the other hand, 199, which is Songe, I love this. I have tons of Glossimers and I still think I will purchase a backup of this because it has a really great texture and a really finely milled duochrome pink. So together, the two create a really luminous lip look. And I absolutely love a glossy lip, as many of you know, so this works perfectly for me. And if you hear, you know, chewing going on in the background, that's Beau. He's eating his lunch. He loves to bite his bowl for some reason, and we're trying to discourage that, but you know, when I'm not there to encourage him to eat, he keeps biting it. So please disregard the sounds. So I highly recommend both of these. I do prefer 191, which is Songe, but I do think that Rose Rev is a must-have if you like a milky pink lip. Now for the nail polishes. So first I have Secret, which is 625. I'm wearing it on my left hand, and I have 629 Atmosphere, which I'm wearing on both my ring fingers. And I'll provide close-up shots so you can take a better look. But I absolutely love 625 Secret. I was afraid this one would be a little too sheer, and I have seen complaints about this one, but I think 2 medium coats is perfect. You can add a third if you want a little bit more pink in your color, but I do think that 2 coats is semi-sheer, slightly milky opaque perfection. I like to put 629 Atmosphere on top of Secret. I just think it makes for a really subtle accent nail, and I know accent nails are hit or miss with many, but I do think that in this case, it's a really great way to wear a feminine fall nail without going really punk, like with 631 Orage here. And I wasn't going to purchase this color, but I actually went back to Nordstrom and bought it because I was so impressed with it. And it does have the signature Chanel micro shimmer, which you can only see in certain lighting, but I think Orage is a great way to wear a vampy nail color without going so stark as black, or you know, if you don't like shimmery blacks, this is a great way to go. And now we'll move on to the blush, which is Innocence. And I wasn't too convinced, but I had skipped Sakura, so I figured I would try Innocence, and it's actually more of a mauve-toned blush. It's more of a medium pink than I expected, and despite how much I love the color, I have also seen complaints about this blush as well, since it is a little bit more on the dry side. A lot of my Chanel blushes do tend to be super creamy, super pigmented, but I kind of like the slightly less pigmented versions just because I do think that most women tend to be a little heavy-handed with the blush, so that way you can use as much as you want and still get the right amount of color. Next up, we have the new eyeliner pen. This one is the new one, and this one is the old one, which was packaged in black and gold, whereas the new version is packaged in a glossy black with a white font. And at first glance, I thought, wow, this looks a lot like Eyco's I Do eyeliner, and I really love the felt styles, but I do have a hard time finding one that's very pigmented. It's hard to find a really rich, deep black. The original Ecriture de Chanel is actually quite pigmented, but it comes with a plastic brush tip, and it's a retractable style that pushes the formula towards the tip of the brush. And as much as I liked this and found it quite pigmented and water resistant, I did notice that the tip of the brush tended to get a little bit gunky. It would dry down and stay really stiff. But the new felt tip is even more pigmented, has a slightly more watery formula, but it glides on really well. I can get a nice tight line next to the lash line and pull straight out for a cat eye. So I highly recommend this. I do think it's better than the NARS felt tip. The Eyco I Do felt tip is again very similar, but the Chanel is much more pigmented. And now for my last purchase from Chanel Fall 2014, this is 106 Hesitation, the Solo eyeshadow, the single eyeshadow, and let me see if I can get it open. Turns out I've really been enjoying this color, even though this burgundy maroon shade isn't naturally what I gravitate towards, but But this one and Admiration, I believe, a gold eyeshadow single, are probably the two best eyeshadows in this collection. I tried the bright pink and I tried a couple other shades, but they definitely were a little on the sheer side, and so if you don't like very sheer, slightly drier formulations of eyeshadows, then you may want to avoid the rest. But Hesitation is quite creamy, and I used it with the eyeshadow applicator today just because I do like to show the applicator, since not everyone wants to spend a lot of money on brushes. But I do think that if you use a flat shader like a MAC 239 or any of the Hakuhodo brushes, you will get even more pigment, a little softer effect, and you won't have to blend quite so much, but it still works really well with an eyeshadow applicator, so I do think that speaks volumes to the quality of this eyeshadow. And Hesitation is not quite as intimidating as it may look in the pan. I've worn it today all over my lid, and I just created a softly gradated brown maroon eye, just an everyday look, and you can amp it up with a little bit more glitter liner like I did. Instead of purchasing the gold eyeshadow, I just took a gold pencil to rim my inner corner, and I thought that made it a really well-balanced fall eye that's not too dark and very wearable no matter what your outfit is. And to conclude this review, I saved the best for last. This is the limited edition Illuminating Powder that was launched earlier this year. It was all over Asian and Canadian blogs, but unfortunately the US did not receive it. But apparently we have received news that it will be part of the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and this will be an exclusive to Nordstrom this month. So I highly recommend calling your Chanel sales associate if you have one and request a pre-order for this, because in general, when it comes to the Nordstrom anniversary sale stock, it is limited. So I highly recommend, again, pre-ordering if possible, since it will only be available at Nordstrom. And that's a wrap for this review, so now without any further ado, let's move on to the tutorial.
The raindrops falling on my face invite my soul to take a taste as thunder spreads its wings into the space above me. I tilt my head toward the sky and laugh out loud as cars go by. It's been so long since I have felt alive inside. Now I'm free to jump.
So I hope you enjoyed this natural take on Chanel's Fall 2014 collection. It just feels so strange to say fall when the summer has barely started, but I really do love this makeup collection, and I think that it has fabulous pieces that have the potential to become timeless basics in your collection. So I'm really happy with everything that I purchased, and of course if you have any questions about the products that I reviewed and used in this video, feel free to leave them down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks always for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!